For the best experience, please use headphones or listen in a quiet environment. Financial Freedom Made Simple. Life-changing lessons from the richest man in Babylon. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. If someone handed you the keys to a treasure chest filled with life's riches, would you open it? Of course you would. But then, what if I told you those keys are already in your hands? That's right. They've been there all along, waiting for you to unlock the doors to financial freedom, wealth, and purpose. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most profound guides ever written on these topics. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Why should you care? Because this book isn't just about money. It's about principles. Principles that have stood the test of time. Principles that can transform not just your bank account, but your mindset, your habits, and ultimately, your life. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, and every financial worry you've ever had is gone. No debt, no stress, just peace. What would that feel like? Pretty amazing, right? Now here's the kicker. That reality isn't as far away as you think. It's not about winning the lottery, it's about mastering timeless principles. And the best part? These principles are simple. But then, why do so many people struggle to apply them? That's what we're here to uncover. The power of principles. Clason writes, a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Let's unpack that for a second. How much of your income are you saving right now? Not for bills, not for splurges, for you. Most people, they earn, they spend, and at the end of the month, they wonder where it all went. Sound familiar? But then, imagine if you could flip the script. What if every dollar you earned worked for you instead of against you? Here's an action item. Starting today, commit to saving at least 10% of every dollar you earn. 10%. That's it. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Because wealth isn't about income, it's about discipline. Let me ask you, are you willing to pay yourself first? Scientific insight. In 2018, a study published in the Journal of Behavioral and Experimental Finance explored the savings first principle. Researchers found that individuals who set aside a fixed percentage of their income before allocating funds for expenses reported greater financial satisfaction and reduced stress. The act of saving first creates a psychological reinforcement loop, encouraging positive financial behaviors over time. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by data. So, when you save that 10%, you're not just securing your future, you're rewiring your brain for success. Real-world example. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He famously started saving and reinvesting his earnings as a teenager. Buffett didn't build his fortune overnight. It began with small, consistent actions, like saving $5 from a paper route. Decades later, those habits turned him into a billionaire. This is proof that anyone can achieve financial success with discipline and persistence. Quote from a TED Talk. Simon Sinek in his famous TED Talk Start With Why reminds us, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Apply this to saving and investing. It's not just about the money, it's about the life you're building, the purpose behind your financial goals. Quote from Aristotle. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This couldn't be truer when it comes to saving and investing. Building wealth isn't about a one-time effort, it's about consistently making the right choices day after day. Common misconceptions and mistakes. Let's address some of the most common misconceptions and mistakes people make when it comes to building wealth and financial freedom. 1. Believing you need a high income to save. One of the biggest myths is that you need to earn a lot of money to start saving or investing. Many people think, I'll start saving once I'm making more. But then, what happens when that raise comes? Expenses tend to rise just as quickly. This is called lifestyle inflation. How to overcome it? Start small. Even saving 5% of your income is better than nothing. As your income grows, increase your savings rate. Remember, it's the habit of saving, not the amount, that builds wealth over time. As Clason says, wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Real-world example. A janitor named Ronald Reed, who earned modest wages his entire life, left an $8 million fortune to charity when he passed. How? By saving consistently, living frugally, and investing in dividend-paying stocks. It's proof that you don't need a six-figure salary to achieve financial success. Quote from Theodore Roosevelt, "Do what you can with what you have, where you are. This quote reminds us that it's not about waiting for perfect circumstances, it's about starting with what you have now. 2. Over-reliance on debt. Another common mistake is relying on credit cards or loans for purchases you can't afford. Many people justify this by saying, "I'll pay it off later," but then interest piles up and you end up paying far more than the original cost. How to overcome it? Adopt a cash-first mindset. If you can't pay for something in cash, consider whether it's truly a necessity. Create an emergency fund to avoid turning to credit cards in times of need. Start by saving 1 month's worth of expenses and build up to 3 to 6 months. Scientific insight. A 2022 study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that individuals who use cash instead of credit are more mindful of their spending and tend to make healthier financial decisions. The physical act of handing over cash creates a psychological awareness of spending, reducing impulsive purchases. Quote from Oprah Winfrey, "Don't buy into the myth that you need to keep up with others. You define your own success." This is a powerful reminder to avoid debt driven by social comparisons. 3. Trying to time the market. Many people fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect time to invest. But then, while you wait, your money sits idle, losing value to inflation. How to overcome it? Start now. The best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time is today. Use strategies like dollar cost averaging to invest consistently over time, regardless of market conditions. Quote from a speech. Warren Buffett famously said, "Time in the market beats timing the market." The longer your money is invested, the more it can grow, thanks to the magic of compound interest. Expanded insight. Buffett's advice aligns with the idea of compounding. Every day your money is invested, it's working for you. Even small contributions add up over time. 4. Neglecting financial education. One of the most overlooked mistakes is not taking the time to educate yourself about money. People often think financial knowledge is only for experts, but then, how can you expect to manage wealth if you don't understand it? How to overcome it? Dedicate time each week to learning about personal finance. Read books, watch videos, or take online courses. Knowledge is the foundation of financial freedom. Real-world example. Dave Ramsey, a financial guru, started his journey after experiencing bankruptcy. He educated himself, learned from his mistakes, and now teaches millions of people how to manage their finances through his books and programs. Quote from Benjamin Franklin, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." This timeless wisdom emphasizes that education is the key to making smarter financial decisions. The law of gold. Clason also says, "Gold cometh gladly to those who save at least 1/10 of their earnings." Why? Because savings grow. But then, saving isn't enough. It's what you do with those savings that counts. Do you let them sit idle, or do you make them work for you? Wealth is like a seed. You plant it, water it, and nurture it, and it grows. But then, too many people let fear stop them from planting. Here's another action item. Invest your savings. Start small, learn as you go. Whether it's stocks, real estate, or starting a side hustle, your money should never sleep. The goal isn't just to work for money, it's to make money work for you. Scientific insight. A study conducted by the National Bureau of Economic Research in 2019 found that individuals who invested even small amounts consistently over time achieved significantly higher financial stability compared to those who did not. The study emphasized the power of compound interest, a phenomenon Albert Einstein famously called the eighth wonder of the world. Every dollar you invest today can multiply exponentially over the years, thanks to this principle. So don't let fear hold you back. Let science encourage you to take that first step. Real-world example. Look at the story of Chris Reining, a self-made millionaire who achieved financial independence by his 30s. Chris began by saving and investing small amounts. Over time, his investments grew, allowing him to quit his 9-to-5 job and live off his portfolio. His journey shows how consistent investing can transform your life. Expanded insight. Reining's approach also highlights the importance of automation. By setting up automatic transfers into his investment accounts, he removed the temptation to spend and ensured consistent contributions. Quote from a speech. In his famous speech, Jim Rohn said, "The ultimate reason for setting goals is to entice you to become the person it takes to achieve them." Investing isn't just about the returns, it's about the person you become in the process. Disciplined, focused, and future-oriented. Quote from Maya Angelou, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." This applies perfectly to investing. Start where you are, improve as you learn, and watch your financial future transform. So what will you do with your seed of wealth? Will you plant it or let it wither? Guard your wealth. Let's talk about one of the most crucial lessons in this book. Gold flees the man who forces it to impossible earnings. Translation: don't chase get-rich-quick schemes, they're traps. But then, how many of us have been tempted by promises of easy money? Be honest with yourself. Here's the reality. True wealth is built brick by brick. It's not flashy, it's not overnight, it's about consistency and wisdom. Clason teaches us to only invest where our principal is safe. That means doing your homework. That means understanding the risks. Here's your third action item. Before you invest a single dollar, educate yourself. Ask questions. Seek advice from people who have walked the path. And most importantly, trust your gut. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Scientific insight. According to research published in the Financial Analyst's Journal 2020, investors who took a conservative approach to wealth building, focusing on low-risk, diversified investments, achieved more sustainable long-term growth compared to those who engaged in high-risk trading or speculative investments. This underscores the importance of safeguarding your principal while seeking reasonable returns. Wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. Real-world example. Remember Bernie Madoff? He promised impossibly high returns and scammed thousands of people. On the flip side, investors like John Bogle, founder of Vanguard, emphasize slow, steady growth through index funds. Bogle's approach has created wealth for millions of everyday investors without unnecessary risk. Quote from a TED Talk. Adam Grant, in his talk The Surprising Habits of Original Thinkers, said, "The greatest originals are the ones who fail the most because they're the ones who try the most." Apply this to investing. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn and grow from them. Quote from Thomas Jefferson, "Never spend your money before you have it." This timeless advice reinforces the importance of patience and planning when building and guarding wealth.